You're listening to The Gospel Road from the DebtProdigy.com studios. We're looking at 1 Corinthians 2 today. And when I came to you, brothers, did not come proclaiming to you the testimony of God with lofty speech or wisdom. For I decided to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. And I was with you in weakness, and in fear and much trembling. And my speech and my message were not implausible words of wisdom, but in demeanor of the Spirit and of the power, so that your faith might not rest in wisdom of men, but in the power of God. Yet among the mature we do impart wisdom, although it is not wisdom of this age, or of the rulers of this age, who are doomed to pass away. But we impart a secret and hidden wisdom of God, which God decreed before the ages for our glory. None of the rulers of this age understood this, for if they did, they would have been crucified. The Lord of glory would not have crucified. But as it is, what no eye has seen, nor ear heard, nor the heart of man imagined, what God has prepared for those who love Him. These things God has revealed to us through the Spirit. For the Spirit searches everything, even the depths of God. For now, a person's thoughts, except the spirit of that person, which is in him, so also no one comprehends the thoughts of God except the Spirit of God. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is from God, that we might understand the things freely given us by God. And we impart this in worlds not taught by human wisdom, but taught by spiritual interpreting, spiritual truths to those who are spiritual. The natural person does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are folly to him, and he is not able to understand them because they are spiritually discerned. The spiritual person judges all things, but is himself to be judged by no one. For who has understood the mind of the Lord so as to instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ. 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Talking about wisdom. Talking about where you're getting the wisdom from. Getting the wisdom from God, getting the wisdom from man. A lot can be pulled from that because it really depends on who you are looking to and who you are talking to get wisdom. When you're trying to find out what it is that you need to know. The same thing works personally in our lives and professionally. So when you're working on the spirit side of things, you are looking to the Spirit. You're looking to God for that wisdom to really deal with you on the inside, to help you understand why things are happening the way that they're happening, why things are kind of moving in the direction they're moving. Figuring out your purpose, figuring out your goals, figuring out where you are going to go next in your life. Now, taking that wisdom, applying it to other parts of your life, professionally, friends, family, wherever that is, you're going to reach out, but you're still going to have to start learning from others when it comes to the worldly, we will say, items that you need to do, like work. You're needing to learn a new job. You're needing to learn how to do your job different because things are changing. It's gaining that wisdom and trying to understand how the pieces are working, but then at the same being open to listen so you're going to understand those changes. One thing I've noticed through my life is there's certain people that there's a certain way things are done, and that's the way that's always going to be. Perfect example is computers. Dealing in broadcasting over the years, computers have been introduced more and more and more into how we do things. And I watch people that as they are coming in and taking more of a foothold, those that are fighting and saying, well, no, this is the way it was done. This is the way it was always done. I'm refusing to learn. Well, if you're refusing to learn, if you're refusing to gain the wisdom to know how your job is going to work, you're making yourself obsolete. You need to be willing to understand, to learn what that next step is, so you're bettering yourself. Not only bettering that self, if you really dig and understand that, you're going to be able to help someone else that's trying to learn that. So now you have become someone who can inspire and motivate and help someone else learning that information. It's those conversations that we have every day. It's that feeding into ourselves to become better, to become stronger, to stay encouraged, to stay motivated, to be inspired. So we're able to encourage, motivate, inspire others. So we can take the wisdom that we learn and share that with other people, to have those conversations to go, I understand. I've gone through this. Might not be exactly this. Now, there's certain things it's really hard to have that comparison because it's not really, it's completely different things of what you're dealing with. I mean, I'm a person who has ridiculous amounts of empathy. If a person is hurting, I can hurt. I might really not know exactly what it is that they're going through, but oh my goodness, it will tear me up on the inside. And I tell you, there's days that happens, it just drives me up the wall. But it's what I am. My entire life I've been that way. But as you're listening and you're being that ear, because sometimes people just need an ear or a hand to hold on to. They don't need conversation. They just need to be able to get the information out. They need to be able to share that. That's wisdom, knowing when to be quiet. Believe that or not. But it's all sharing love for one another, being there for one another, giving them the compassion, having that unconditional love for your family, your friends, people that you know, people that you don't know. You never know who you're going to meet on a daily basis and just share a smile, open a door, whatever it is, and that is going to make their day. You've made them better by a very small action, just being kind. So we take that, we get from that wisdom, and then we're able to use that and feed that and give that to others. So they're also able to then pass that along and build up another person. 1 Corinthians chapter 2. That's what we looked at today. And when looking at that wisdom, looking at what it is that we need to know, looking at what it is that we need to understand, and to realize that we're not going to understand it overnight. Because it doesn't matter if you're 28 or 88. You're still going to be learning. And we need to keep our minds open to that learning, to that knowledge, to understand, to learn as much as we can. We learn daily. And we will always be learning on a daily basis. And we need to keep our hearts and minds open to listen to that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding that we're going to be having. Because with that knowledge comes the understanding. Because when you gain that knowledge, you gain that wisdom, you understand how something works. You start to understand why things are going the way they're going. But sometimes we just have to sit there and listen. Not always the easiest thing. I know. Oh, how I know. 1 Corinthians chapter 2. As I say, always take that. Read it for yourself. Where is it that you are going to go? Where is it that it will take you? What's going to help you with? Just remember to love everybody. To be there for one another. Show compassion. Unconditional love. Joy. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.